Thank you so much, Sunday and Linda, for inviting me on this amazing platform. A brief background about me. So, I am a senior official of IAPM for the Metropolitan Region of Noida in India. And apart from this, I am a strategic thinker and mainly on the agile delivery side. And I also uh, write articles on hybrid management and digital transformation. And I work primarily with the Genpact in India. And I'm very excited to be part of this network meeting. And I look forward for collaboration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gaurav. So now we move to the first, agenda on our program today, where Linda will be introducing us to IAPM. She'll be telling us the opportunities that await us in IAPM. So as she speaks, if you have any question you would like to ask her, I will encourage you to use the chat box. Just send it in through the chat box. So, and later in the day, we are going to address all the questions. And please, I would like to encourage you also, when the speakers when they are talking, kindly let us mute our audio. Let us turn off our audio. Only the audio of only the microphone of the speaker should be on, so that there will not be disruption. So right now, I welcome Linda Ottman. She'll be talking to us on the opportunities in IAPM. You are welcome, Linda.
Okay, thank you. I will start sharing my screen. All right, you should now see it, I hope. Perfect. Okay, so yes, I will tell you something about the IAPM and the opportunities which go along with the IAPM and the certifications issued by the International Association of Project Managers. So first of all, I have already said something about myself. Now I want to tell you something about the IAPM. As mentioned, the IAPM is the International Association of Project Managers. And this is, this is a project management organization or a project managers organization. It is a certification body and it is a network for project managers. That means that you can get certified with us. And the thing with the network for project managers is that you can, as project managers come together, you can exchange ideas, you can find people with the same mindset, and you can find partners to cooperate with. Yes, but there are so many different project management organizations and certification bodies for project management. And maybe you ask yourself now, what is unique about the IAPM? Because there are so many different organizations. First of all, I want to tell you that the IAPM is worldwide recognized. This is very important because it is an international association for project managers and for certifications. And if our certificates would not have been recognized, what would be the sense? But they are, so everything is fine. And the thing is that not only our certificates are recognized, but we also recognize certificates from other organizations. So for example, if you are at the moment holder of a PMP from PMI, for example, you can have it recognized by the IAPM. This is not that expensive. You can just upload your certificate and let it recognize. We check it, and then your new certificate is issued a few hours later. This is very convenient. Now you should ask yourself, maybe, why should you do this? Why should you let your certificate from the PMI recognized by the IAPM? The thing is that our certificates are valid a lifetime. You can see it here. There is the calendar. They are valid a lifetime. This means you are once certified, you are always certified. The same applies to, for example, driver's license or to your high school diploma. You don't have to recertify your high school diploma because you left your high school or you did your driver's license and everything is fine. We are of the opinion that a project manager who is working as a project manager actively knows that he should be up to date, that he or she should check the news of project management, of agile project management, to be up to date. And that's the reason why we think that a recertification is not needed. This saves you time and also a lot of money. Yes. Then another thing are our fees. Our fees are based on the GDP of each country. That means a certificate issued for a German is much more expensive than for someone from Nigeria, for example. I want to show you this. I hope that it works now when I leave this. You should now see the IAPM website, right? Okay, I think so. I think everything works. I hope everything works. So you can click here on certification and you can click here on fee information. And let's say you are interested in the certified project manager. This is the classic certification level. It was the first of the IAPM. And yes, so for example, you are from Australia, you pay 644 Swiss francs. This is our currency because we are located in Liechtenstein, which is a very small country close to Switzerland. And yes, this is our currency. And in comparison, somebody from Azerbaijan pays only 180 Swiss francs because due to the GDP of the countries. Yes, we think that this is a very fair system. I need to share this again. We think that this is a very fair system, that everybody has the chance to take our certification, that this is fair for everybody. Yes, another point which is unique about the IAPM is that our certifications are taken online and they are not proctored, so you are not monitored during the certification exam. I know that at the moment, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most organizations let their exams taken online, but for us, this was from the beginning, that everybody can take the certification online without being proctored. Only he or she needs to sign an affirmation that he or she is not cheating. That's it. It's very simple. And the positive side is that you can take this certification whenever you want to and wherever you want to. You can do this spontaneously. So you can say, okay, today is Sunday, I want to take the certification right now. And then you can take it. You only need to be registered beforehand. And then you have 6 months time to take it. You can take it in the middle of the night, on Sundays, on public holidays. Everything is possible. Yes, and what is also unique about the IAPM, we are, as mentioned, a project managers organization. We think that the human being within a project is very important. So not only the hard skills are important, but also the soft skills. You are working in a network. You as a project manager need to know how to deal with people. You need to know how to deal with stress. You need to know how to communicate properly. Of course, you also need to know how to do a stakeholder analysis, but the soft skills are also very important. And sometimes when doing some other certifications, they are, yes, not that important, but we think that they should be more important, yes. We believe that the project manager is the key to success in projects. Yes, then we can go on with our different certification levels. As you can see, we offer 7 different certification levels. We have 3 different areas: the traditional project management, the agile, and the international. In the traditional and in the agile field, we offer both the junior level certification the medium level like project manager and agile project manager, and the senior level certifications. It is important that within the traditional and agile field, it is not required to go from first certification to the second certification. So I want to say that you don't need to pass that junior certification to be allowed to take the certified project manager certification. They are independent of each other. The only thing is, if you want to become a certified senior project manager or certified senior agile project manager, you need to take the certification exam and you need to have experience in the respective area. So if you want to become certified senior project manager, you need to have 5 years of experience in managing projects in the traditional field, and at least 3 of these 5 years you need to have been in a leadership position. The same applies to the certified senior agile project manager. So you need to have been in agile project management for at least 5 years and 3 years of these in a leadership position. So for example, 5 years or 2 years as a developer and 3 years as a Scrum Master. Yes. And then we have the certified international project manager, which is a bit different to the others, which is due to it is a on top certification. You cannot take the certified international project manager when you are not yet IAPM certified, and the junior certification do not count in this case. So you need to be certified project manager, agile project manager, senior project manager, or senior agile project manager. And if you have passed one of these certifications, then you can become a certified international project manager. This is because the questions and the whole certification is for project managers in the international context, and it's important that you already know the basics, so to say, so that you know how to manage a project in general, and then the international facts are just on top. And the whole certification exam is also not that long in time, and there are not that many questions you need to answer during this exam. I want to show you now our one landing page of our certification, and I need to change my desktop again. Okay, so now you should see or the IAPM website again. So here you can get an overview of the different certifications. You can see the junior certification, the medium level certifications, and the senior level certifications, and on top the international project manager. And let's say you are interested in the certified junior agile project manager. You can see here you can calculate the costs. Here you can find some cheat sheets. I will talk about these cheat sheets later on. And here you can see a step-by-step guide how to get certified. And you can just register by clicking register now. You will fill in the form, your name, your address, your country, that we can calculate the fee. And many people ask why you need to fill in the identity card number or passport number. This is important that we can check if your country is the same country as you have mentioned here, so that you are not cheating to get a lower price. Yes, and that's it. Then you can fill in this thing, you can choose your language, and that's it. After that, you will be contacted by our support team. You will receive an invoice. You need to pay this invoice within 10 days, and then you will receive the data to take the certification. Then you have 6 months time to take the certification, and that's it. And one thing which is very important, because we have sometimes these problems, if you register or if you send a request to us or email, please always check your spam folder, especially when you are using Gmail or Google Mail, just check your spam folder and then you will find our emails, hopefully. If not, just contact us. And yes, this is very important. Okay, then we can go on with the presentation. Okay. For our certification exams, we offer 3 different guides. For each field, we offer 1 guide. The PM Guide 2.0 for the traditional field, the Agile PM Guide 2.0 for the Agile field, and the International Project Management Guide 2.0 for the international field. It is important to mention that these guides build the certification basis for our certificates, but you need to know the things which are mentioned there more in depth. So for example, we have 1 page about the work breakdown structure in the PM Guide 2.0, but to be successful in the exam, you need to know more about the work breakdown structure. And to find out more about this work breakdown structure, you can do online research or read a book, or you can visit a training. For example, a training by Sunday. You are offering at the moment a training, right? And yes, then you can participate in a training. And I know that the trainings are very, very good, that the people who visit a training from him pass the certification very well, and he does a very great job. Yes. But we also offer white papers, which are independent from our certifications. They are just to gain knowledge, to enrich your knowledge, yes. And since you are here, I guess that you are interested in hybrid project management. I will show you this. It's so complicated to change all the time. Okay, you can find it here. Okay, I just recognized that I don't have to change it all the time, my fault. Okay, so here you can find the PM Guide, Agile PM Guide, International PM Guide. Since they are certification basis, you will find it certification and certification basis, but our white papers are, as I mentioned, not part of our certification process, so they can be found under qualification, and you can find it here. You can click here to download it, and here you have the PDF, which is very easy to access. You don't have to register, you don't have to pay or something. You can just see it. Okay, I will go back to the presentation. Can you see the presentation right now? Can you just say if you see it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Okay, yes, then we have another support, the cheat sheets. These cheat sheets are very interesting for prospective certification holders because these cheat sheets show everything which you need to know. At the moment, we offer cheat sheets for the whole traditional area and for the certified junior agile project manager and the certified agile project manager. The certified senior agile project manager is at the moment in the making, and it will be published soon. And afterwards, we will publish the certified international project manager. So we go step by step in an iterative way. I will show you this also now. You can find it here. For example, if you're interested in the certified agile project manager, you can click here, you can see the badge, and you can find general information. So for example, where's the certification exam taken? Online via class marker. This is the system. You can take it wherever you want to. You only need internet connection, and you can find the further information here. Here's a link, and you can find the link here too. Yes, you can see a process. If you cannot read it, you can just open it in a separate tab, like here, and then it is in a better quality. Yes, then you can find the preparation and the self-test. So what is a self-test? how many questions need to be answered within the self-test, and so on. Then during the exam and after the exam, what happens if you don't pass the exam, for example? Are the costs re-incurred? Yes, they are. Something like this. Okay, and these are very informative, especially for people who are planning to take a certification. But if you can't find the information you are looking for, just contact me or the support team and we will guide you. And if this is a question many people are asking, then we will add it. Okay, then we can go on with the next slide, which is about the contribution. If you want to contribute, you can become a network official, you can become an IAPM licensed trainer, or you can become an author. So if you want to become a network official, this is very convenient. So you just need to be IAPM certified. For example, you need to be certified project manager, and then you need to choose a region which you are located or where you are working or something. And yes, but if you want to become certified senior official, if you want to become senior official like Sunday or Gaurav are, then you need to be certified senior project manager or certified senior agile project manager, and you need to choose a region where not another senior official is located. So for example, if you want to be active in Nigeria in the same region as Sunday is, then you cannot become senior official because he is already the senior official of this region. So you need to choose another region, or you need to become official and work together with him. For example, in India, we have 4 senior officials for 4 different regions. And in New Delhi, for example, we have 1 senior official and 2 officials, and they are working together, and the whole India network is working together. Yes, and this is a great thing because I really like it that the whole country is working together. Yes, if you want to do more, you can become IAPM licensed trainer. Therefore, you need to fulfill more requirements than for becoming a network official. You need, first of all, have experience in training people. So you need to fill in a form and let us know when you have trained people. For example, have you been a teacher for project management, or have you been a lecturer in a university? And then you need to pass the highest possible certification in the desired field with at least 75%. So if you want to become a trainer in the agile area, you need to be a certified senior agile project manager and need to pass this test with at least 75%. If you pass the test with this percentage, and if you have enough experience, you can become a training partner. If you did the certification recognition, so for example, if you are a holder of a PMP from the PMI and let it recognized by us, and you are a certified senior project manager due to your PMP, you did not take a test by the IAPM. But you have to prove that you would have passed the test with at least 75%. So you can fill in the training form. If everything is fine, then you can take our certification exam. This is included in the training fees, so you don't have to pay for this separately. And if you pass the test with at least 75%, everything is fine and you can become a training partner. The advantage, if you're a training partner, is that you will get a commission for every person who is taking a certification due to your efforts. And you can purchase training material, but you don't have to. So you can use your own material, but if you want to, you can purchase training material from us. Or you can train the people, and we will send you interested people from your region that you can contact them and organize trainings with them. And the fees for the trainings are discussed with the trainee directly. if you want to contribute in a creative way, you could become an author. So if you want to write about project management or about agile project management, about how to do a Gantt chart properly, or I don't know, anything which is related to project management you can write about, just contact me. I can tell you what are the guidelines, and then you can write. You can publish a bio, you can publish a picture, you can publish your link to your LinkedIn profile, and so on. Yes. If you want to support us in another way, you can follow us on Twitter. You can join our LinkedIn group where many interesting articles and events are posted, or would be very great if you could follow us and our LinkedIn page. There we post the events and blog posts from our side. So if there's something interesting, then we will post it. For example, the event we are joining right now was published, and for example, every Tuesday our IAPM Essentials, which is a blog series, are published there. Yes, that was from my side. If we have a few minutes, I would like to go to you back to our website. We have a few more minutes, right? I think 5 minutes are fine. I want to show you the most important points of our website. So first of all, this is our landing page. Here you will find the blog. So every Tuesday we publish here our essentials, and every Thursday or Friday another blog post is published, sometimes on Wednesday too. You can just click there and will find the article. If you want to write an article, you will be published here. Okay, then we have our document overview, which is also very interesting. There you can find the certification basis, the white papers, and those things. Just check it out. Yes, we have our news and events published here, our IAPM articles. This is the blog again. We have the dates of our events. For example, the event from today can be found here. Here is another event which is in German language. It will be held next month. This is an event organized by a partner from us. You can find here the certification levels, the fee information, our certification basis again. If you want to register, you can do it here. I showed it to you already. Then we have literature, which is quite interesting. There are recommendations. So for example, if you want to read something about Kanban, just go here and read this book. Yes, and you can find here our white papers too. Then we have our document overview again here in service, and yes, these are the most important pages. Yes. All right. I think that was from my side. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Linda, for that wonderful presentation. And as I said earlier, if anybody has any question you like Linda to answer, please send it in through the chat box. So we'll take note of all the questions that comes in, and before we round up the meeting, we are sure all the questions are addressed. So please, because of time, if you have any question, type it into the chat box, and you can see that Linda took us through IAPM website. The address of the website is www.iapm.net. So you can visit the website also to browse it, to do more research, and also you can use the contact form in the website to request for more information from the support team of IAPM. So we are moving to the main section of the event now. I tell you, this is a topic that I am also highly interested in. I've been teaching traditional project management. I've taught Agile, I've taught Scrum, I've taught Kanban, but I have never taught hybrid project management. At the same time, this would be my, I've read some things about it, but this would be the first time I'll be listening to somebody, teaching hybrid project management. So as much as I believe so many of us need it, I also need it. So I would like you to pay attention, and I assure you the section is being recorded. If you need the recording, you can request for it after everything. Pay attention, because these kind of opportunities don't come every time. So at this point, I would like to welcome Mr. Gaurav Dopa, who will be speaking to us on digital transformation and hybrid project management. Welcome, Mr. Gaurav. You can take over.
Thank you so much, Sunday, and entire IAPM Nigeria and IAPM team. I'm very excited to share my views on the topic digital transformation and hybrid project management. Just before that, I had some memories of 2007 when I visited Nigeria with one of my clients, that is First Bank of Nigeria. And I could recognize some similarity in the names which I met people during that time and the participants over here. So it just came to my mind that yes, in 2007, I was in Nigeria at Lagos. So that was a very interesting time when I visited First Bank, and I was there to give training on Oracle Warehouse Builder. So that just one good time which I spent in Nigeria. So coming to the topic, I'll just quickly share my screen. I hope everyone can see my screen. Okay.
Yes, we can.
Yes, I can see from my side.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So though
I can also see that.
Okay, thank you. So this is a brief background about me. So right now I'm senior official of IAPM for Metropolitan Region of Noida, India. Apart from this, I also work on digital and agile transformation side. I'm also a seasoned project and program management professional. I have been reviewer for PMI's standard value management and a book on agile contracts. Plus, I write articles on RPA, artificial intelligence, machine learning, agile, Scrum. So my friend Sunday is also very keen on these topics. So I hope this session would be very useful for everyone. And I think it's a good opportunity to learn from each other. And position of Digital Media Global Director of PMO Global Alliance. So this is one of the largest community of PMO professionals across the globe. And as I mentioned, so I work with Genpact as program manager, and these are my LinkedIn and email ID details. So I'll just quickly come to the topic of digital transformation. So see why I just chose this topic about digital transformation and hybrid project management, since there are a lot of similarities between digital transformation and hybrid project management. So see, I'll also come to the hybrid project management part, but before that, I'll cover briefly about digital transformation. So see, a lot of people say about digital transformation is all about technology, upcoming technologies like cloud, big data, analytics, automation, hyper automation, right? Augmented intelligence, machine learning, so on and so forth. But actually, this is one part of it. So digital transformation is actually, or you can say fundamentally changing the way you operate and deliver value. So it also comprises of a very important part of culture and the continuous learning. So see, digital transformation is a journey, and it is not a one-time attempt or a one-time initiative which can give you results. So over a period of time, we have to invest. And that is why it requires a lot of streamlining at the process end, the internal culture, apart from people, process, and technology, right? So we normally say about people, process, technology, but it is above that, beyond that. So as you can see on the current slide, there are three broad areas, which is customer experience, operational processes, and business models. And these three process areas in turn have different elements. So as you can see, there are total 9 elements. And this is actually a research done by MIT Sloan School of Management. So see, the most important part is the customer experience. If we are delivering value, we are building something, so we have to keep customer in mind, right? If we are delivering some service or building a product, there has to be a customer. So we are not building it for our own consumption. Even if it is our own consumption, we should have some customer in mind. It could be a separate department, which will basically be a part of this digital transformation journey to deliver some value. Now, when coming to the customer experience, it is very important to have the understanding of your customer. So you have to basically step in into the shoes of the customer. What are the pain points? What are the problem areas? And what customer is actually looking for? So to have that understanding, you have to actually see what customer needs and what customer wants. So there is a difference between a need and a want. Right? So need could be something which is a mandatory requirement, without which the customer cannot live, right? And want could be something that customer can live without it, but if you create or you deliver that value, additional value, it will basically enhance the overall experience. So need is something which needs prime importance, which needs to be addressed immediately, right? Now, in order to understand that, we need to also focus on the customer behavior. Now, if you see in today's scenario, you have various channels like online channel and offline as well. And in online channels, you have, say, customer is purchasing something. Customer can purchase through website, through mobile, or through some other mechanism. But you have to see that the customer experience has to improve, because there are a lot of competitors in the market. So you need to understand what customer is actually looking for. And for that, you have to actually look for the top line growth. So top line growth means that you have to basically tailor your programs, tailor your programs based on the personalized needs. So you have to make your programs, your initiatives personalized so that it can align well with the customer. And it is not only about sales, but improving the overall experience. And for that, you have to understand the entire process and also understand what are the customer touch points, how customer basically looks for a particular value in the entire value stream. So value stream is something which gives continuous value to the customer, and it also helps you to remove the non-value added items, because there could be scenarios where you have some specific value being delivered, but along with that, there are some non-value added items. So you have to minimize them or remove them from the entire value stream, right? Then you have operational processes. Say, for example, you want to automate or you want to digitize any, say, invoice processing system, right? So it would require some sort of digitization. You need to automate the process. And you also need to see whether the data is available in digitized format, right? So you have to do all the digitization stuff. And then you also need to see whether you are able to enable your workers, or you are able to build the competency required to digitize those processes. Because see, if worker enablement is not in terms of competency and capability, then your digital transformation initiative will be at risk. So you need to make sure And leadership plays a very important role in making workers enable to digitize your process or to make the digital transformation journey successful. And along with that, you also need to see the performance management part, right? How the teams are performing, how the processes are performing. So this means you should have a measurement system. So if you cannot measure, you cannot improve. So it is very important to identify the key performance indicators, right? Which will actually help you to analyze whether your operational processes are giving the desired value, the desired output. So it is very important to align these KPIs with your customer. If the customer is not aligned with the KPIs, then I think there would be a misalignment. You are measuring the performance with some other KPI and customer is looking for something else. So that is why it is very important to have that alignment. And last but not the least, your business models. So what business models actually means? You need to basically digitally modify your businesses. Say a current process which is running manually, you need to ensure that your modified business process is compatible with the digital technology or the digital transformation initiative which has been taken up. So for that, you continuously need to at the new digital businesses also. For example, an airport authority is basically looking after all the flight system and all the related activities. But along with that, it can also build some sort of value added services apart from the routine services. Maybe a smooth customer onboarding, a smooth check-in, so which will help the customer to get additional unrealized value. There is something called current value, which you are delivering as on date, right? But there could be some unrealized value, which has the potential to give additional value to the customer. So if you continuously look for that unrealized value, you will definitely generate new digital business. And hence, you will improve the customer experience. You will also improve the return on investment. And finally, you will also improve the customer impact, right? It is not only about delivering the service, but bringing better performance, better value, so that customer can realize the benefits. And this entire business model or the digitally modified businesses should look for digital globalization. So digital globalization means that you are thinking globally, but you have a mechanism where you can actually respond locally. So you should need to take care or cater to local needs also. So when you think about globalization, you basically bring all the different assets, various digital products in one ecosystem, and also think of the local needs, how you can respond better to the local needs. So that is why it is very important to have digital globalization, so that you can have a holistic view. Along with that, you can respond to the local needs also. So you can go through this article from MIT. So I have given this link. Once we share this deck, you can just go through this. So this is a very interesting article. So next is about the digital transformation challenges. So see, every initiative has a challenge as well as an opportunity. So where you have a challenge, you have the scope of opportunity also. So it depends how you treat that challenge. Now, the most important thing is the changing customer experience. With the rise in digital products, the digital initiatives, the digital offerings, the customer experience is also changing. And it is the differentiator which gives an edge over the competitors. From the customer experience side, you have to actually look at the entire customer journey. So it is not only about how the customer has improved the experience, but you also need to see how the customer journey started. What was the initial requirement? What was the initial benefit which customer was deriving, and how you improved it over a period of time? So you need to look at the entire customer journey. And in this entire digital transformation initiative, there could be some employee pushback also, right? Say when digitized processes are coming, so there could be a fear in the mind of the employees that, okay, now our work has been digitized, which we were doing earlier manually. But the objective is that those employees who were actually working on those specific mundane type of tasks, they actually work on the strategic level tasks. So you have to think from the strategy side how that employee pushback can be converted into a more meaningful acceptance. And for that, there should be clarity of purpose. So I'll come to that purpose, vision, values, but you need to address those pushback in terms of this challenge. We also face challenge in terms of omni-channel adaptation. So omni-channel means where you have multiple sorts of mechanisms or channels to basically digitally modify your business processes. So it could be in the form of, say, online channel, which has been opened up for customers. It could be a new entire product which helps the customer to purchase the products in a more streamlined way. Now that adaptation requires some time. And when you don't have that time, either because of urgent market demands or the competition in the market, then that adaptation actually becomes difficult. So the objective should be to take small scale changes rather than big changes, right? If you start small, you will deliver incrementally and also see how it is performing. So that gives you a better chance to adapt. Like we talk about Deming's cycle, plan, do, check, adjust. So you can see it's an iterative cycle. You get a chance to plan, you do something, you act upon it, uh, or you check it before acting, and then you finally adapt. So continuously you improve the value and you continuously deliver some value to the end customer. Another challenge is about poor analytics. So why analytics? See, the most important part is the empirical management, and which talks about the performance based on the evaluation of the data. If data is not properly utilized or data is not properly analyzed, then definitely there will be a challenge in the initiative. And you would be surprised that there was one survey done, and in that 53% of the modern companies are dissatisfied with their analytics abilities. This means there is a great chance, great opportunity to improve the analytical system. And for that, they need to see whether they are utilizing the existing data effectively. See, there is plethora of data lying, but if you are not using it effectively, you would not be able to make actionable insights. And if you do not have actionable insights, you would not be able to make good decision-making process. So that is why it is very important to have strong analytics system. Then another challenge is the lagging business models. You do not have the models which can be made compatible with the current digital technologies. You have legacy systems, right? Very old systems, but you are not upgrading them as per the market needs and changes. So that becomes a challenge. So ultimately you have to see, if you want to run a digital transformation initiatives, you need to upgrade your business models, right? Now, next is about, we saw about challenges. So how we can actually help in overcoming those challenges, or how we can improve the chance of success. So the foremost important thing is we need to have the right digital savvy leaders in place. So for any digital transformation initiative, it is very important that the leaders who are running these initiatives are digital savvy. They understand these digital technologies, these transformation initiatives, the process level changes which are required, right? Then we also need to build capabilities for the workforce. If we do not have the right workforce with the right capabilities, and there we will talk about hybrid type of skills. It's not only about the hard skills, but the soft skills also. See, when we talk about, there are two type of skills. One is I-shaped and another one is T-shaped. So if you see, I is more specialized. Say, for example, you pick any technology and you actually attain a specialization in that technology. So that becomes very specialized. But when you T-shaped, the bar of the T is specialization, and the horizontal line on T is basically a generalization or diversification. So when we are building a product, we need more diversification, because diversification of ideas build improved products or better products. So think of T-shaped skills where we can allow soft as well as hard skills to coexist. The way we can overcome the challenges of digital transformation initiative. And then we also empower people to work in new ways. We need to continuously help them experiment. See, when we talk about agile way of working, so we say fail fast, fail often, right? So that's the best way to get quick feedback and adapt. And that's very much relevant in the digital transformation initiative also, because leaders need to embrace the culture of experimentation, the culture of continuous learning. See, if you will not fail, you would never know why it went right, because you should have some mechanism to compare, and that's how you can improve. So every failure has an opportunity to learn, and that actually builds a growth mindset or an agile mindset. Now if leaders do not have that mindset, they would face challenge in embracing that type of culture in the organization. And we also need to see the tools which we are using, they need to be upgraded, right? If we are using very old tools which are not very efficient, and the majority of the population has switched to the new tools, the new digital tools. So we also need to make sure that we are aligned with that digital tool landscape, right? And also we need to communicate frequently via traditional and digital methods. So again, you can see it's a sort of hybrid. We're using the traditional as well as digital methods. We don't say that traditional methods are bad. See, there are times when the traditional methods are also very beneficial, but we need to see what type of scenario will fit in a particular type of context, right? So we need to see how both these type of methods can coexist. The important thing is we need to maintain a balance between traditional and digital methods. And then last but not the least, we should have the ability to use analytics effectively and continuously measure the value delivered. So this was based on a recent article from Forbes in March itself. So I have given this link. So this is some summary from that article. So this is very interesting. It says about the supply chain management, how you can improve the supply chain management in a digital transformation initiatives. So these are some of the ways you can basically help the initiative to be successful, and also see how you can improve the value. Then the next topic is about the digital transformation is not about technology. So first I discuss about the technology part, but see, it is not only about technology. It is beyond that. We need to first focus on the business strategy. Why strategy? Because see, strategy is something which you envision, that you want your business to be at a certain place or your organization to be at a certain place. And it is actually uh, influenced by the mission and vision of the organization or the initiative, right? So mission is basically what you are actually intending to do to achieve a vision. So it basically tells that why a particular organization exists. What is the motivation behind that organization, behind a project, or behind any initiative? So that's your mission. And vision is what is the future state of that particular initiative. So you need to have that future state in mind so that you can build strong and adaptable type of strategy, right? And it is very important that before investing in any sort of digital transformation initiative, you figure out what is your business strategy, where you want to be, what is the objective, who are your customers, why you are building a particular product or delivering a service. So that is very important to understand. And most importantly, you need to leverage your insiders. See, when digital transformation starts, so there are, say, multiple technologies and you do not have experts in all the technologies, right? It could be agile transformation also, right? You need agile transformation experts also. So what company does is it identifies, okay, we have these list of skill sets available, and these are the list of skills for which we need more people. And they actually, okay, start the hiring process, identify the experts from outside, okay, and they rely on outside experts, bring them in without making them understand the existing company culture. They try to basically sort of influence the entire organization, and in the name of achieving a transformation agenda or an objective, they try to enforce some new culture or new policies which does not align with the existing culture. So it is very important that we first identify how our existing employee base or our existing experts can be upskilled or reskilled. Because see, those are the people who know better the culture of your organization than outsiders. Definitely we need outsiders, but you need to maintain a balance, right? You need to see how you can get the best outcomes from the inside stuff, from the inside employees, right? So that's very important, because there is no one size fits all approach, right? But there may be a thing that, okay, that is the industry best practice. That's fine. But that industry best practice may or may not work in an existing culture. And culture, you know about culture, Peter F. Drucker said that it eats the entire organization for breakfast, right? So you need to understand that it basically eats strategy, right? So it is very important that you first look at the existing culture. So no matter how strong your strategy is, if you do not have the right culture, your strategy would fail. So it is important to understand the existing culture, the existing skill sets of the people, so that it gives you best value from inside. And then you also need to design the customer experience from outside in. Take the feedback continuously from the customer, as we have agile manifesto, continuous customer collaboration, right? Rather than contract negotiation. But that does not mean you do not focus on the contracts, but the most important thing is focus more on customer collaboration. Involve customer from the start itself rather than at the end state. So it is very important you get the feedback from the customer and adapt. And you also need to empower people how they can take decisions on their own. So you have to make them empowered, whether it is on the technology side, whether it's on the decision making, whether it is also on the learning and experimentation. So these all factors you can see relates to agile mindset or a hybrid type of culture which maintains a balance between some sort of traditional approaches, predictive approaches, or agile approaches. Then also you need to have startup culture. So basically startup culture is more focused on learning, experimentation, right? And that's why it is very important then when we are having this digital transformation, and we need to have this startup culture, and we also need to make sure that it is not only the delivery teams or the delivery organization which becomes agile, but we also need to focus that other departments, the support functions, be it marketing, finance, HR, right, IT, admin, they also need to become agile. And it's not only about choosing a specific framework, just doing agile, but actually we have to be agile, right? It's not only about doing agile. So that all these things you can correlate that these uh, steps or these factors influence how digital transformation can be made successful. Now coming to the hybrid part. So see, in this pandemic, you can see it has actually changed the entire way of working, and the organizations who were relying only on physical type of presence of the employees uh, also have to work on the virtual features and the virtualization aspects of the employees, how they can work from anywhere, right? So basically it's all about maintaining balance between the offline and the online, and also they also need to make sure that how they can manage the diversity. See, when you have diversity, it will bring more ideas to the table, and that's why it helps the organization to basically celebrate that. So it's not only about bringing diversity, but you also need to see how you can manage that diversity. And for that, you need to have inclusiveness in the culture, right? So instead of identifying people who are culture fit, you need to look for people who have different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, because they bring different ideas, different perspectives, and that helps the organizations to bring better ideas in terms of delivering value. Then you also need to embrace soft and hard skills, as I mentioned. And see, every project or every initiative has an aspect of predictability and adaptability. So it is not only that you need only adaptability for complex or ambiguous type of requirements, but you also need to be predictable also, right? Let's take an example of, say, Scrum framework. So why there is time boxing? The reason is you need to have some predictability and consistency. So you can see within Scrum framework, which is an agile framework, you also have the aspect of predictability. So you need to see based on the amount of risk, the nature of the project, the complexity, which helps you to decide the amount of predictability required and the amount of adaptability required. If the project is straightforward, the requirements are fixed and very crystal clear, then you can do it in a predictive way. You can do it in a sequential way. But where the requirements are more of exploratory in nature, right? There are more ambiguities, uncertainties, and the requirements are not fixed. So there you need to have more agile way of working, right? And apart from this, there is no one size fits all approach. It is not necessary that one framework which works in a particular project, the same framework will work in another project. So you have to understand the context, right? And context can be ascertained from the nature of the project, the domain of the project, the risk involved, right? So these are the aspects which you need to take care. And at the same time, you can also plan sequentially and deliver incrementally. See, there are times where fully agile and fully sequential approaches do not work well. So you need to have a mechanism or a more powerful approach which basically captures the best of both the worlds, right? So you need to have that predictability as well, to have that governance, that control, and also the adaptability, so that team can basically deal with the complex requirements. They can also do experimentation and then measure it and adapt it, right? So that is where you need that hybrid type of culture, hybrid type of approaches. And if you see, there are two types of mindsets. One is predictive, one is adaptive, right? So predictive is you do the upfront planning, right? At the start of the project, you plan everything. But you can do that plan, fully plan in the initial stage, but you can divide the work to deliver in small iterations so that it delivers continuous value. And when you are having that planning in predictive way and delivery or execution in an iterative and incremental way, it takes a form of an hybrid approach. And hybrid is not only about a single approach which we are following. It is combination of multiple approaches. There could be lean approaches as well. There could be other approaches from project management world which you can incorporate, right? So it gives you more flexibility, right? When you have a flexibility, you also need to have some structure, right? You need to have some reliability. See, if you have agility but you don't have stability, then that agility will not help you, because the ultimate objective is to have a sustainable system, a sustainable product. So in order to achieve that sustainability, you need to have both reliability and flexibility. Then there are times where you need to follow the procedure, but at the same time, you also need to be pragmatic. So the hybrid approach helps you in adopting the procedural approach as well. And it also helps you to be pragmatic wherever required, right? Then you also need to have the mindsets which talk about the task oriented, which is more of predictive in nature. And when we talk about adaptive, it is more value oriented, right? So you need to maintain a balance, because there could be some straightforward tasks which you can do it easily. So there you do not need more of adaptability or agility, but where you have to deliver some sort of complex product where there is ambiguity, where the requirements are changing. So there you can use agile approach. You the control as well as participation. So see, only control and only participation cannot work. You need both. And that's how you can actually manage your projects effectively. And you also need to ensure that the output or feature or the product which you are delivering must have some outcome also. And along with that outcome, there should be an impact. So it is not only about delivering a particular feature, delivering a quantity, but you also need to see what outcome or what impact it has brought for the customer. So when you think from that aspect, then actually you focus towards value delivery. Then you could have various constraints in a project. It could be time, right? Scope, cost, but there should be justification for each. And when you have constraints and justification, you deliver the projects more effectively. There could be best practices which you can follow. At the same time, you have to maintain the balance, looking to the existing project context, the maturity of the teams, the maturity of the customer, maturity of the organization. So you need to maintain a balance between all these. So that is why it is important to have best practices, but make sure you do not follow the best practices without actually understanding the context, right? These are some of the important facts and figures based on some survey done by PMI. Check these surveys, and it actually tells you that out of the companies exhibiting a high degree of agility, 68% use agile methods, 71% predictive, and 72% use a hybrid methodology. So you can see even the organizations which are actually adopting agile approaches are working in a hybrid fashion, because that gives you more flexibility. See, if a particular framework is too prescriptive in nature and you cannot tailor it, then that agility has less significance left. You need to ensure that agility, that entire framework should actually adapt to the change in the context, right? So that it can help you to do some customization. Then there was another report from Pulse of Profession, which indicated that 60% of the companies use hybrid project management all or most of the time, right? And there was one recent survey, and it found that uh, including 477 cross-industry projects, 52% of projects could be categorized as hybrid approaches. So you can see the maximum percentages in project management goes to hybrid project management. So it is not only about pure agile or pure waterfall or pure predictive, but it is about maintaining a balance between the two, right? So you need both depending on the nature of the project. And this is something about why actually we need hybrid project management. As I told, that it basically helps you to get the best of both the worlds from predictive and adaptive world. It brings more flexibility and structure. And it also helps you the different models to coexist. See, individually, a single model could be insufficient or it could have some challenges. But when you combine it with other approaches, it becomes more powerful. And most importantly, all requirements are deliverables, are not fixed. So that is why you need to have both predictability and adaptability in your projects. And you need to have that custom approach so that you can deliver improved outcomes, as it gives you more flexibility in goals and changes in the strategy when required. And you can see you have both fluid and solid type of deliverables, right? There the requirements are more in a sequential way, so you can use waterfall approaches. And where you have more exploratory type of requirements, there you can use agile approaches. And each project could have both these type of requirements. So that is why you could have a mix. But most important thing is how you can maintain the balance between these two. It is not a simple mix of waterfall or predictive and agile, but you need to maintain the balance between the two. How much degree of predictability or how much degree of adaptability you need, right? So this is based on the IAPM's white paper on hybrid project management. I've taken it from there. So you can go through this IAPM white paper. So it basically lists down different types of hybrid project management structures. So I can just quickly tell you about these. It is mainly different type of models which you can club. One is incubator. Incubator is mainly a model which you basically allow to exist and see how it performs in a protected environment. Just like a incubator you have for seeing the overall health of newly born babies, right? You have an incubator, right? So you give a protected environment so that this model can independently evolve. Then you have a container solution, which is basically a blend of classic and agile, and also agile and agile. So see, when people talk about classic and agile, it's a combination of predictive and adaptive approaches. But in agile, you can have multiple frameworks from agile approaches only. Like you have a Scrum framework, and then you could have a lean approach or a lean model called Kanban, right? So you can club these two, Scrum and Kanban. So based on the requirement, like where you have more of product development or you need more of predictability, as I mentioned. So there you could use Scrum framework, and where you need more of visualization, you want to improve the overall process efficiency, there you can use Kanban model, right? So from my experience, Kanban model works very well in maintenance type of projects, in support projects, right? Where you have some individual type of task, individual type of incidents, and where you are building some new product, some new feature, and you want to deliver value in an incremental or iterative way, there you can use a Scrum framework. So you can see, blend the classic agile as well as agile. Then you could have some sort of partial assimilation. So in this, you can adopt some features, good practices, or the practices from predictive ways, sequential approaches, and some practices from agile ways of working. And you can basically assimilate them. So that's why it's a partial assimilation. It's not a complete, but based on the requirement, you can do it. Then you have synthesis. It's again same as agile, which I mentioned. Then you could have some sort of parallel or interlocked solutions also. So there what happens is, say for example, you are building a hardware and a software. Hardware could be built in a sequential way, right? You are building some particular hardware product, and the hardware will not work unless you have the complete hardware ready. So that's why you need more of sequential type of development. But in a software, you could split those specific features into multiple user stories or some epics, right? So there you can deliver it iterative and incrementally. So both hardware and software can be developed in a parallel world, right? Where you can use predictive ways as well as adaptive ways in a single project. So that's why it gives you that flexibility to use both the approaches. And sometimes you need some sort of coupled systems. So coupled is basically a combination of agile as well as lean. So where you can employ some good practices from design thinking, minimum viable product, and maybe Scrum framework. So essentially, if you see about MVP, though we use in Scrum also, but MVP is actually a lean concept. So it has come from the lean, which helps you to get a quick feedback on a subset of a requirement. So you do not build the entire product, but you basically build a subset of product, get quick feedback from the customer and learn from it so that you can adapt. So you can build a coupled system which helps you to give the overall benefit of various approaches from predictive, adaptive, and lean models. So this is about the digital transformation and hybrid project management. So you can see a very close linkage between these two. So when we talked about culture initially, so it's more of a hybrid culture. Hybrid culture means you are allowing basically people from different cultures to work in a single environment rather than making them culture fit, right? So it's basically about diversification. You are allowing them to grow with their own style of working, right? So that's about hybrid culture. Then hybrid operations. You are working in an online way or in an offline way. So you see after this pandemic, even the people on the operations floor used to work virtually, right? And wherever it was needed, those employees, those operation worked on the operations floor. So it was a type of hybrid type of culture where you were people working from office, people working from home, or people working from anywhere, right? And you have hybrid technologies also, like you have cloud. So cloud basically helps you when we talk about the hybrid cloud, it gives you the facility of public as well as private. So what happens is you get the benefits wherever you need to have some sort of secured system. There you can use some private cloud features. And where you need to take features from public cloud, there you can use public cloud features. And it gives you more resiliency, right? It gives you more benefits based on the usage, right? So that's the benefit of cloud, right? Pay as you go model. Whatever you need, you pay for that, you then use it, and whenever you need it next, you can again buy it. So it's not about maintaining the entire infrastructure on premise, but on the cloud. Then you have hybrid infrastructure also, and hybrid data management. So hybrid data management helps you in processing and analyzing data from various sources, right? From partner ecosystems also. And hybrid data management could have structured data, right? You have very structured data in rows and columns. Then you could unstructured data. Unstructured data could be your data in, say, PDF or images, right? Or video, audio files. Then you could have some semi-structured data, right? So when you analyze all these different type of data, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, so again, it takes form of hybrid data management. And when you have all these hybrid culture, operations, technology, you definitely need a hybrid project or program, portfolio management, which would help you in managing these hybrid environments. So that's the benefit of having a hybrid culture, which gives you more flexibility along with scalability and sustainability, right? So this is the last slide. I have taken this from one of the hybrid models, which I have been promoting in India. So you can just check it. This is Flex hybrid model. Uh, so this actually talks about the various approaches, the predictive and adaptive approaches, how you can blend them. The most important thing is not only about blending, but how you can actually best use of these, right? And how you can make your approach or process more lean when you blend these various approaches. So here you can see you have top purpose, mission, and vision, which is actually your organizational identity. So purpose tells you what is the soul or what is the motivation behind any initiative. Why you are, what is the purpose of this change or transformation? Let's take a digital transformation. What is the purpose? That needs to be defined clearly. The mission, what actually you want to do, why a particular organization, why a particular entity exists, and then the vision, what is the future state. And then you have something called strategy, strategic goals, objective and key results, and initiatives. So these basically help you to achieve that organizational objective. First is your organizational identity, then your organizational objective. So you need to see how it flows from the need for value when you talk about purpose. So when we are talking about purpose, mission, vision, this means there is need for some value. And when we start working on a strategy, break down into strategic goals, then further split into objective and key results and initiatives, we actually deliver the value towards that purpose. So one is need for value and another is actual value delivery. So you can see how purpose, mission, and vision helps you to create those initiatives for delivering the value. And purpose again has three parts. You need to formulate that purpose, have some commitment, and then act accordingly. And when we talk about the formulation and commitment, so there the role of leadership along with the teams who are responsible for delivering the value is very important. If you go wrong at the formulation and commitment stage, then definitely actions would be not as expected. So it is very important to define your purpose and then move towards your strategies, strategic goals, and initiatives. So this is all about the hybrid management and the digital transformation linkages, which I wanted to share. And I think I would just now hand it over to Sunday to see if there are any questions.
Oh, what a wonderful presentation, Gaurav. Thank you for the wonderful presentation. And I want to believe all of the listeners really gain from what you've been saying. I have a lot of things jotted down already, even though I'm recording the session. I have so much jotted down. And personally, I'll be asking some questions also. So I want to encourage as many people that have questions to ask. Please type in your question through the chat box. so that as the questions are coming in, Gaurav will see the questions and he will be able to attend to them. So please use the chat box, send in your question. So I'm going to, right now I'm going to end. Then for those that have questions after Linda finished speaking, your questions has been attended to, like two people ask question through the chat box and Linda respond to both. So if time will permit, I may still give Linda time to, maybe shed more light on the two questions and her response. So Mr. Gaurav, I have some questions there, which I would like to read out, about 3 or 4. So I want you to take note of it, then so you can address it once and for all. Now, I would like you to speak a bit on the best platform for hybrid projects. Like when I take training, people ask me what is the best platform for predictive project, and I advise them that in most cases Microsoft project is okay. Then for agile, maybe they use Jira or Trello. So I would like you to talk on the, using hybrid approach, what is the best platform? Then also, I would like you to talk a bit also on certification for hybrid. People have been asking me that question. Are there certification for hybrid project management? So I would like you to talk a bit about it. Then also, now for anybody to practice hybrid, is it possible for one to practice hybrid without mastering predictive and adaptive? So I would like you to talk a bit about that also. Can you practice hybrid project management without mastering predictive project management and adaptive project management? Then I would like you to speak a bit more. You said something while you were speaking that MVP is all about being lean. MVP, minimum viable product, is all about being lean. So I'd like you to just shed more light on it. Thank you. So those are my questions. So please, any other person that have question, I will encourage you, please use the chat box, send in your questions so that it will address your questions also. Thank you. So over to you.
Sure. So very, very interesting questions, Sandeep. So I would take up the first question, which you asked about the platform for hybrid project management. So see, when we talk about hybrid project management, it's a combination of various approaches, right? So as such, there is no specific platform, but you can use the existing platforms like say Microsoft projects, or in adaptive, you talk about Jira, Rally, or any other platform, Zoho, right? So you can manage your projects, but see, it's a basically more of the mindset where you need predictability and where you need adaptability. So it's about the execution part where you want to see the nature, the risk, the type, the complexity of the project, which actually triggers the need for using some sequential approach or an adaptive approach. So these existing platforms you can use for hybrid project management also. So there is no restriction on that. But only thing is you need to make sure you are maintaining that balance, and also you need to make sure that you are also allowing the teams to experiment. Because see, if you are focusing more on the predictive side, this means that it has less adaptability. Because when we focus more on the predictability, we talk about the forecasting, when I'm going to deliver this project, whether I am under schedule, ahead of schedule, behind schedule, right? So beyond that, you have to see the actual performance is based on the value delivered, whether it is predictive or adaptive. The focus should be on value delivery and not only about time, scope, and cost. These are important, but from the customer standpoint, focus on value delivery, whether it is predictive or adaptive. Yeah. Then regarding the second question of certification, that's a very interesting, and I would not like to be biased by saying any specific certification, but yes, I can give you examples. See, when we talk about hybrid, as I mentioned, that it's basically giving a structure to agile approaches. There are times where agile approaches are not structured. So for that, we actually brought in hybrid project management, which is a combination of predictive approaches as well as hybrid approaches. See, when we talk about scaled agile, which is, from scaled agile framework. So SAFe is actually an hybrid framework only, right? So it also incorporates lean portfolio management also. So that's why it is hybrid, because it is taking best practices, features from Scrum, scaling it to a level of, say, agile release train, and also picking up the lean portfolio management also. Then coming to PMI's disciplined agile. So disciplined agile is also a hybrid, because it takes best practices from Scrum, from SAFe, from Lean, from XP, and maybe many more. So that is again. The third one I shared with you, it's the flex hybrid model. You can go through that as well. It is again a hybrid which takes best practices from various predictive and agile approaches. But I would not say that these are the only hybrid approaches. You can customize and tailor your new approach also. You can take best practices and you can develop your new model also. So there is no restriction that you focus only on these three, but you can develop your own. So now, when we talk about hybrid project management, the essence is you need to have more flexibility to use multiple approaches. And once you have this flexibility in any model, it will allow you to be more successful. Then about whether you can master hybrid project management without predictive and adaptive. So that's very interesting. See, I would say you can read it, but in order to have that implementation type of work, or the implementation where you want to do, you need to understand the predictive approaches and adaptive both, right? Because then only you will be able to understand what amount or what degree of predictability and adaptability I need. So it is very important to understand both the aspects first and then go for hybrid. And last, about the MVP. So see, MVP, the objective is to build a minimum viable product. See, there could be a very big project or a very big product which you are building, and you want to basically learn from the feedback of the customer by building a subset of that particular product. And you also want to see how the customer or the market basically reacts to that delivery. So you basically build a subset of that particular product. It could be in the form of a prototype also, where you are uh, releasing it in the segmented customer market to get a quick feedback, so that you can actually adapt future deliveries. It will help you in analyzing whether you are moving in the right direction. Then along with minimum viable product, you also need to have minimum marketable feature. So minimum marketable feature tells you that this particular minimum marketable feature which you are building, whether it is going to give the actual benefit to the end customer. So when you have minimum viable product, which is for learning aspect of the team, and minimum marketable feature, which is from the revenue side, you keep both these things in mind. I think then in that case, you actually keep the customer centricity as well as the team's continuous focus on learning and adaptation, both coexist, right? So that is why it is very important to have these minimum viable product and minimum marketable feature. But there are times where you cannot have that minimum viable product. The reason is, say, for example, you are automating a particular process and you cannot split that process. There could be situations there you need to deliver the entire process or the entire feature in one go. So there you need to have more of a sequential type of execution. When the entire process will be automated, then only it will deliver value. So you have to think from that aspect whether you can build an MVP or you want to do it in a sequential way. Over to you, Sunday.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Grab, for that wonderful response. There's a question from Olayinka, and from Olayinka, there's a question on the chat box, and the question is, hybrid project management approach, is it a new approach or a rebranded approach? So I'd like you to speak on that.
Yeah. So see, hybrid project management is not a new approach. It has been in practice for many years. The only thing is when we get influenced or when we basically get biased towards any single approach, then we actually make the entire process very prescriptive and we lose flexibility. Whether it's agile or predictive, it can happen in both. Though a framework could be an agile framework, but you never know that agile framework can also become prescriptive. Say, let's talk about ceremonies in Scrum, right? So at the end of each sprint, you need to have retrospective, which is very good. It has a purpose. But when you have a pure agile mindset, you are a purist. Okay, I have to do this retrospective on the last day of the sprint at any cost. So this means you are not able to tailor it. It is not only about principles. It is also about understanding the context. And hybrid project management gives you that flexibility. Or let's take an example, your daily scrum, only 15 minutes. Now, what happens if it goes beyond 15 minutes or 20 minutes? What will happen? Scrum does not say, but when you have that hybrid project management approach, see if there is a need to discuss more, you can discuss it offline, but also make sure that particular ceremony is giving value and it is giving a chance to inspect and adapt. See, if you are just doing it, right, you are just doing agile without understanding, because see, Scrum prescribes this, I am doing it, but you are not actually having the opportunity to inspect and adapt, then there is no use of those ceremonies or events. So make them lean, which actually helps to improve. So that should be the aspect. Yeah.
For that wonderful response. And once again, I would like to appreciate you for the wonderful presentations. And as you can see, some positive comments, coming from some of my, my network members, especially Mr. Shaji. Mr. Shaji is an Indian, but he passed through the last course I did, and I want to believe, he's your brother and he so much enjoy your presentation. So the whole of Nigeria IAPM network members, we so much appreciate you. We enjoyed the presentation. And Linda, I would like you to respond to the two questions. Actually, you have typed in the response, but I just want you to, talk a bit about it, how to upgrade from CPM to CSPM. And somebody asks if IAPM certification can be used to apply for degree, a postgraduate degree, which I know the answer, but I just need you to talk about it. Thank you. And after that, you round up, give us your final word. Thanks.
Okay. All right. So first of all, the question was from CPM to CSPM, or the same applies to CAPM, from CAPM to CSAPM. If you have sufficient experience, as I have mentioned before, 5 years in project management, of which at least 3 years in a leadership position, then you can write an email to our support team to support@iapm.net and let them know that you want to upgrade your certificate. And if you do so, then they will send you a link where you can upgrade. And there you will fill in your experience of the last 5 projects, and we will check it, and when everything is fine, an invoice will be issued. In the end, you will pay the same fee as you would have paid when you would have gone to the CSPM or CSAPM directly. So if the CSPM is 135 Swiss francs, then this is the maximum you will pay. So if the CPM is, I wrote 95, I think, then you just will have to pay 40 Swiss francs, and then you will receive the CSPM or the CSAPM. Yes, that's it. It's really easy, and it is the same fee for everybody from the same nationality. Yes. Okay. And the other question was about the degree. I don't know how it is in other countries, but I think that if you want to do a master's degree, you first of all need a bachelor's degree. And our certificates cannot be used as a bachelor's degree. But I know it from German universities that in mostly every subject you, or whatever you study, you will have a subject project management or agile project management or whatever. And in some universities, you can go to the coordinator and say, okay, I have a certificate from IAPM. Can I can I skip the project management course because I have the certificate? This mostly works, or it depends on the university, but I know universities where this works, and then you can skip this course. But I don't think so that you can skip a whole bachelor's degree with our certificate. But you need to discuss this with the university and what your options are. But one thing I want to mention, if you studied something with project management or had a subject called project management or agile project management, you can contact us. And if you are not yet holder of an IAPM certificate, you can send us the contents of the subject. So for example, if you had a subject called project management, you can send us the whole contents. So for example, you had the creation of a phase model, you had the creation of a work breakdown structure, and this and that. And then we will check this, and maybe if everything is fine, you can let this subject recognize. But this needs to be discussed individual. But if this applies to you, feel free to contact us and we can check what we can do. Yes.
All right, Linda, thank you for the response to those questions. So as we round up, so I'm using this medium on behalf of the IAPM Nigeria Network members. So I want to appreciate Gaurav for the time, wonderful time, you've spent with us. And also I want to tell you that we would love to, see more of you and also hear more from you. At least I appreciate the fact that you say you've been to Nigeria before, you've been to Lagos before. So one of these days, maybe when we'll be having our, our physical conference, because actually there has been demand for it from some of my students, that when am I organizing a physical conference for them. So hopefully we'll be looking at bringing you to Nigeria, and I hope you will come. Yeah, Nigeria is a nice place, I can assure you. And Linda, I want to appreciate you also for the time, spent, talking to us. And aside from that, I also want to appreciate the wonderful work, you are doing in IAPM. Sincerely, I appreciate the work you are doing. Whenever I need information, I send mail, immediately I get response. So I appreciate you for that. So, and I want to use this medium also to thank the IAPM certified members that join this program. I want to appreciate you. And for those that are not IAPM certified member yet, so we do IAPM certification training. We do IAPM certification training, and our next training will be starting on April 3rd. April 3rd, we'll be starting our next training. We are going to have physical class and also online class. Our physical classes we hold at University of Lagos. It will hold on Saturdays, while the online classes we hold on Sunday. So wherever you are located, either you are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria, you can participate. We have a plan for you. And the classes has been effective, and the students, they've been passing their certification exam, as you rightly heard from Linda. So I want to encourage you to join us. And for those of you that are getting to know IAPM afresh, I encourage you visit IAPM website, www.iapm.net. Visit the site, browse the site to know more about the site, and join and try to also check IAPM LinkedIn and do. And as for Mr. Gurav Dopa, you can search for him on LinkedIn, send connection requests to him. I can tell you there are so much that you stand to gain if you connect to him, so much. We are privileged, that he is talking to us. Actually, to be sincere, initially I wanted to charge some people for this, for this meeting, but it was the one that said, we should make it free so that everybody can participate, So I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that. So please search for him on LinkedIn, send connection request to him. Search for Linda also on LinkedIn, send connection request to her. So I still remain my humble self, Sunday Shemire. You can search for me on Facebook, search for me also on LinkedIn, and try to join our social media. And so many wonderful packages like this. We'll be organizing, so many wonderful packages like this for you. So I want to appreciate everybody. Though we still have 5 minutes left, but it's better we finish on time than finishing late. So Mr. Gurav, I want to say good evening, because I want to know in India, this should be around 7:30 or 8. And it's just 3, is about 3 p.m. in Nigeria here. So thank you for that time. And Linda also, I want to believe it's almost the same time zone in Germany. So you're in the afternoon also. So I appreciate you all, and I appreciate everybody that joined the meeting. So if you want to know more about IAPM, visit IAPM website. At the same time, if you're in Nigeria, you can always contact me. You can always contact me. So thank you. For those of you that joined the class, there will be a certificate of participation, and it will be free. So soft copy of it will be sent to you. So thank you. I don't know if anybody has anything to say. We still have 3-4 minutes. So I don't know if anybody has anything to say before we go. Okay, does anybody have anything to say? Okay, Mr. Badmos. Mr. Badmos, you are raising up your hand, so you can put on your mic. Let's hear from you. Mr. Badmos is a certified senior project manager. Let's hear from you, sir. Mr. Badmos. Good afternoon. Go ahead. Go ahead. Mr. Badmos, we are not hearing you. Put on your mic. Put on your microphone, please. We are not hearing you.
Hello.
Okay, you can go on. We can hear you now.
Okay, I just want to say one or two things to thank the facilitator of this program, especially the erudite teacher. It's not that Mr. Gurav Dopa. So I want to thank him immensely, and our chief communicator executive too. So I thank the two of them very well. So they have added to our knowledge this afternoon. But I want to believe that before the program, you promised that this program will come with a certificate. Are we expecting the certificate of participation? So that's my question.
Yes, yeah, just as I said earlier, for all the people that attend the program, there will be certificate of participation. So I will be sending soft copy to your email.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Badmos, and it was a complete pleasure to have this interaction with the wonderful people. And I would like to thank Sunday, Linda, and entire IAPM team.
Thank you. You are welcome. See you on
Thank you.
LinkedIn very soon. Yeah,
Sure.
you're welcome.
Okay, so Linda, are you saying something?
Yes, I just wanted to say thank you to all of you. It was a great time. And I want to mention one more thing. I think it's so great that you two
Hello.
had this event together. So two networks, India and Nigeria. And I think this is great. And I hope for the future for the IAPM that we have more such events, because I think it's great. And that's the way to bring project managers worldwide together. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, so with this, we have come to the end of the...
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Okay, good afternoon.
Mr. Sunday, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Yes,
We can hear
sir.
you.
Just to buttress your point. All right, sir. Just to buttress your point, we really want to say thank you to all our facilitators. Thank you. You did not appreciate yourself, but we students, I think, if you appreciate you too, you are our own. And
Definitely.
Oh, okay. I guess she's having challenge with
correct?
her. Okay.
Oh, sorry, the network is very bad a bit. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can
Hello.
hear you.
All right, I'm only greeting you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, I just said I should greet you as well, that you have brought this to us, and it's really impacting. Thank you so much, Mr. Sunday. We students, we really appreciate you.
Thank you. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. Okay.
Hello.
So hello, I
All
can
right.
hear you. Yeah, thank you, ma. I appreciate you also. I appreciate you for taking time to join the meeting. So we have come to the end of the meeting, and we look forward to the next one that will be coming up soon, and it will be communicated to us. So thank you once again. I appreciate each and every one of you. So see you another time. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.